When you think of me, if you ever do, what comes to mind? And I don't know if I want you to answer that question. Hi, this is Barry Phillips with 2-Minute Torah, Day 3 of Vayikra, and we are in Leviticus, Vayikra, chapter 2. Verse 1 says, when anyone brings a grain offering to Yahweh, his offering is to be of fine flour, and he shall pour oil on it, and put frankincense on it. And he shall bring it to the sons of Aaron the priest, and he shall take from it his hand filled with fine flour and oil with all the frankincense. And the priest shall burn it as a remembrance portion on the slaughter place, an offering made by fire, a sweet fragrance to Yahweh. If we slide down to verse 13, it says, and season with salt every offering of your grain offering. Do not allow the salt of the covenant of your Elohim to be lacking from your grain offering. With all your offerings, you bring salt. We're talking about the Mika offering here. It is a bloodless offering, the bloodless offering, and it is that of grain or fine flour, grain that has been ground very, very finely. It is to be mixed with oil by some means, whether you mix oil into the flour and it's brought, or it's prepared, prepared in some sort of unleavened bread situation. Either that it is small cakes that you make without leaven and then have oil smeared on it or poured on it, or whether you make it on a griddle with oil, or whether you bring it in a pot, in a stewing pot. So, ever how you prepare this grain, it is brought, and then frankincense is brought with it. Some scholars say, it's not that the frankincense is sprinkled on top, but rather it is in a container that sits on top of it. And then it is offered together. That way, the remaining grain, as is the case here, that remains can be eaten by the priesthood. You don't want to actually eat the frankincense. So, ever how this is prepared, it is for a remembrance, a memorial offering. If I can say this right, azkara is the Hebrew word here. And again, it is that which brings to mind, that which is causing someone to remember or have a memorial of. So typically, this Minka offering is brought as an act of acknowledging Yah is our sufficiency. We remember all that He is doing for us, His consistency on our part, His faithfulness to us. But it is also in the reverse. Hey Yah, remember me. When we bring this before Him, it is not as though Yah forgets. But if you think back to the time of Noah and family being on the ark, after the rains had stopped and the waters were receding, it says that Yah remembered Noah and his family. Well, there was no one else on the earth to be paying attention to. So what does it mean that He remembered? When Israel was in Mitzrayim bondage in Egypt, He remembered them, and He remembers the covenant. And it's not as though Yah can forget anything, but rather it is a bringing to the forefront, a remembrance that it's time to respond to. It's time to bring about action as an attachment to something that has been brought to mind. We have the issue of going into a room and looking around, trying to remember, why did I come in here? What was I after? Well, we'll see something. It's like, oh yeah, I came in here to pick up that object. Maybe you're not old enough to have that issue yet. It does happen. Here, Yah is being asked to remember. He is being prompted. And so it is an act of our worshiping him in such a way as to basically wave our hand at him and say, don't forget me. And he's not, but remember me. And he does. And it is always then to be unleavened. That is, don't remember my sins against me. Don't remember me as having an inflated ego. Oh, Yah, help us all. But it is also saying to us to always bring this grain offering to him with salt. Now, salt has quite a few characteristics here that we can make application with. It purifies. My mom used to encourage us, if we had a sore throat, to gargle with warm salt water. Of course, spit it out. But she believed in the cure-all properties of warm salt water. If we had a little ulcer in our mouth where we had scrubbed too hard with the toothbrush and scratched our gum or something, go get some warm salt water, son, and go gargle with that. So it has a healing property. It has an ability to purify and to heal. So, oh Yah, remember me and purify me. I bring the salt with this grain offering, asking for your purification. Wash me, O Yah. And maybe we should say, wash me in warm salt water. But wash me, O Yah, and purify me. And then salt also has preservative qualities. Meat can be salted, and it will last for an extended period of time. So, oh Yah, preserve me. Yah, look upon me in such fashion as to see what threatens around me and give me endurance. Give me a long-lasting quality of being able to persevere and to overcome. Remember me, O Yah, and help me. But then there is this quality that in studying this I came upon, and that is, especially in ancient cultures, but even until present day, salt is valuable. Recently studying a few weeks ago about some American history, and during the American Civil War, the war between the states, there was quite a bit of focus on resourcing salt. The troops on both sides needed large quantities of salt for a variety of reasons, but especially for preserving food and also for helping with wounds. But salt was vitally necessary. It wasn't just readily available. They had to find ways to do that. Whether it was the desalination of water along the coast, or here in Virginia, there's a salt mine area, Saltville, and it was a contested area during that time, both sides looking for the salt that was there. Salt adds value. It is a valuable commodity, and again, especially in ancient cultures. So the incense that was offered, it had to be added with salt. Every offering brought needed to have salt to it. Why? To add value to it. It's not just that the animals that we would bring or the grain that we would bring, along with frankincense, all of these things are valuable commodities. But then to go the extra step of adding even more value of bringing the salt. So when we're asking Yah then to remember us, add value to my life. Father, bring the sweetness of life. Father, bring to me the opportunities to do things that are significant, that make impact. Yah, don't let me just wander through life aimlessly and without any ability, but let me make a wave. Let me make a dent somewhere. Help me, oh Yah. And may he add impact and value to your life today. And I'll see you again tomorrow. Till then, shalom.